Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and anything in between, welcome back to another reaction with my guy David, who, as I stated in the previous video, and if you haven't already seen that one, we'll put a little clicky click at the top here so you can check it out because he reacted to Predator Badlands trailer, which also dropped recently. Just to recap, Dave has never seen any of the Predator movies, so this is his entry into it. Now, we do plan on watching the backlog of them, so that's going to be interesting in itself. We'll do a reaction to that, hopefully uh, within the next few months. But today we are going to react to Predator Killer of Killers trailer.
Oh, it's anime. It is just straight
Yeah.
up like it is just like a
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
bro.
Almost the Arcane style
It looks like arcade.
is what I remind. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It literally, yeah, yeah. What the hell? Oh, mate. Oh, mate, this looks sick.
I know, right?
Oh, what the? Yes, yes,
Bro,
yes,
I know,
yes,
man. As soon
yes.
as saw that it was ultra gory, I was like, hell yes.
Tell you about the monster.
I love this, like almost like the low frame rate stuttery feel to it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's sick. Okay, that's sick.
We must kill it, or it will kill us all.
Sick.
Oh, bro,
Sick.
it's so like,
So sick.
honestly, man. So another thing that you
Oh
won't
my
know,
god.
another thing you won't know there is that the musical overlay there is actually the original, like a mix of the original
Oh, is
soundtrack,
it?
which when I first heard it in the background,
Yeah.
it gave me goosebumps,
That's
man,
sick.
because
Cool.
I mean, as you'll discover when we watch it, the original soundtrack is just fucking epic, man. It's
Mm.
really, it's a great soundtrack.
Well, from what
Um,
from like, because obviously I think it's probably worth mentioning. I have seen old films. Like, I'm not
yeah, yeah, of
like, you know what
course,
I
yeah,
mean. Like, I'm not
yeah, yeah.
completely out of the mix when it
No,
comes to, like,
you love some of the,
yeah.
the older movies, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the things you really do notice when you step back in time, when you go to
Mm,
watch films from the 70s, from the 80s, even the 90s, is that because of the limitations in, I guess, hardware at the time, they relied heavily
yeah.
on things like a really amazing score, right? So
Yep.
that's because at the end of the day, music creates tension. It creates all these amazing things that obviously, when encompassed with visuals, like really add to the experience, right? It's something that I don't think is done as well today because we rely so heavily on a lot of post processing, a lot of post effects and stuff like that with editing to create the experience more visually. And I think it's sort of like lost a lot of the cinematic sort of feel. I call it like I was watching a thing on it and I show it to everyone. It's like
Mm,
because of how good cameras are now, it's hard to create depth in terms of shadows and everything just
yeah,
looks glossed over.
that's it.
It's
I
just,
think you
yeah,
sent me the
I
video,
think I
actually. It
did,
was a
yeah.
really interesting watch.
Yeah.
You make a really valid point, but I will say this,
Mm.
there are definitely still
Oh,
movies
absolutely, yeah.
that do an absolutely incredible
Yeah.
sound score that really adds, but there
Yeah.
are also those that are just, they just feel so empty because there's
Mm.
just not that emphasis on building the tension with the
Yeah.
music. I mean, like when I think about music in films that everybody kind of like instantly, if you've seen the film, you're like, oh yeah, like Jurassic Park, the
Oh
original
god, yeah.
Predator, Alien, Aliens, and I mean, Alien has got a very kind of, from what I remember, a lighter soundtrack
It
compared
does,
to
yeah.
Aliens. Has got, I mean, Aliens is more of a an action movie, so it's got a bit more
It's got
going
more
on in
action
terms of
elements, yeah.
some like hard hitting tracks and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, like you say, the music set the scene so much for most of those movies. Even something like The Thing,
Yeah.
it doesn't have a very like a massive soundtrack behind it, but the music that they use, just that simple like bomb bomb, you know, that little
Mm.
bass line that goes through some of the scenes, it builds so much tension to what's going on. It's just such a compliment to it.
I think it depends what
Um,
director you get as well. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
I think was it James Cameron that did
No,
Aliens?
James Cameron was Aliens, yeah, and
Right.
then, Alien was
What was
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott was the original Alien, yeah. And I think, yeah, I'm not sure how much, saying that though, I don't know how much, like, uh, I guess, say, the directors have over the score. I'm assuming quite a lot if they're directing the movie, but,
Yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, maybe that's why the feel is so vastly different. Um,
Yeah,
but it also, I
absolutely.
think, fits the tones quite nicely with those two movies. In terms of what we just saw,
Mm,
though, Jack, in terms of what,
mm.
like, me so I'm big on anime. I love animation. Massive weeb. No, but like, yeah, no, I love it. I love stuff like this. Yeah, and
Yeah, yeah,
I've just finished Arcane not too long ago. I put that
yeah.
off. I actually put it off for a while. Because I had such a I had started up such a backlog of like stuff that I was watching that I just didn't want to
Yeah,
start Arcane until I was fresh out the woods, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, that's
um,
fair.
yeah, and obviously, yeah, this really does have that sort of arcane-y feel to the animation. It's very like almost like a comic book, like a flick book kind of feel to it, and I really enjoy that sort of art, like that art style. It's not,
It's very nice,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
It
not like a
was I
traditional sort of like anime style, like a Japanese anime. This is more like
yeah.
almost like a westernized comic
I
book,
yeah.
yeah, kind of feel.
Absolutely, yeah. The more
Mm.
like detailed, a bit more graphic.
Yeah.
I see. I'm like the opposite end of the spectrum. I don't
Mm.
really watch anime. You've suggested several things to me, and other people have, and I've tried, and I'm just not. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
However, when people suggested Arcane, I watched. I think I've done the first season, and although, again,
Mm.
I'm not like, wow, I've got to binge watch this. I watched it like an episode at a time spaced out
Yeah.
over a period of time. But I really appreciated
Mm.
the animation. Like it was really nicely done.
Yeah.
And the musical score and stuff like that. Again, going back to what we were talking about previously, the musical score in Arcane fit
It is.
really
Yeah.
well.
Mm.
So yeah, that was good. And then when I saw this trailer, I didn't really think much going into it, but as I was watching the trailer, I was like, this looks
Mm.
really good. And
Yeah.
then that with the combination again with the original mix of the OG Predator musical track, I was like, hell yeah. Like
Cool.
I'm gonna watch this, yeah, for sure.
That's really cool. Nice
But
one.
as always, we really love to hear what you guys think. So please leave your comments below. Are you hyped for the Killer of Killers more, or are you hyped for the Badlands? Well, what would you call it? Just an actual cinematic movie score. Which one are you most looking forward to?
Thank you guys. Take care.
Take it easy.